Hi, this is Kevin Kitchens of Photography Voice, and today we're going to be reviewing Portrait Professional 10 Studio Edition by Anthropics Technology. Portrait Professional is a standalone app and plugin for Photoshop that allows you to edit your portraiture, either groups or single subjects. It allows you to do manipulations, if you will, retouching of their skin features, little adjustments to their positioning, their characteristics to make them look a little younger, if you will, or I won't say better, but it's a very cool tool, very powerful. So we're going to take you through one of the sample images here and just give you a feel of what the tool can do. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to click on this sample here. First thing you'll see is it prompts you. This is a pretty good picture. I'll start over. It's a pretty good picture. Great blur in the background. She stands out. But she, like me and other people, are never happy with how they look. So she wants to look a little bit better. She wants to know what magic you can do. Well, Portrait Professional is that magic. So the wizard walks you through what you're going to do, and basically what we're going to do is set key points on a person's face, and they guide you through this. And then what Portrait Professional it'll map the face and the head, hair, skin, and we'll do some automatic adjustments, and then you can fine-tune those at the end. So let's go through this real quick. First thing you do is select gender, male or female. Obviously it's going to be it's going to treat a female different than a male because it's a sexist app. No, I'm just kidding. It's a very good app, but it's going to be different treatment that you want to do. There's also a child option if you're working with a child, because you want to do probably too much on them. So start with female. First thing those do is click the left corner of the left eye. Now you want to get these as close as you can. They don't have to be exact. I'm going to do the right corner of the right eye. This is just giving the metrics of the face that we're mapping. So, nose tip, left corner of the mouth. You'll be able to adjust these here in the coming step in the right corner of the mouth. See, now here it zooms in, it's taking us to the left eye. It's giving us where it thinks the eyebrow is. It's in some analysis and some just general, guess placement. You'll see where I put the left corner of the eye is not exact. You'll also see that you get these white squares going around the points. These are points that you haven't set yet. They turn blue once you've moved them, and they're locked into place unless you specifically move them. So if you watch here when I do the eyebrow, I'm going to bring this down. Watch these other white points. They're so free to move based on what we want. But once you've set one, it won't move. So watch the blue one now as I move this white one. See, it stays in place. It's very easy tool to use and very powerful results. So there we've got our eyebrow well shaded, well outlined. We've got the excuse me. We're going to readjust that point ourselves. And then we're going to start shaping the eye here. And what this does is this just tells us the areas to leave out. So like the eye, you don't want to apply the same technique to the skin that you would to the eye, because you want the eye to be sharp and clear, and this you may want to smooth out a little bit. And you can do this in Photoshop with masks, but this just makes it a heck of a lot easier. So we're going to set these in. This is probably, we're going to move the eye. This is probably not a tool you would use on every photo that you do, because it's a little time intensive, but you would do it on the keepers, the ones that the client is most interested in, the final results. Maybe you would do it, and they're not going to notice. The results are so subtle, unless you're looking at them side by side. They're still going to recognize themselves. They're just going to think it's just amazing what you've done. So you hit spacebar to go to the next. You need to click or hit spacebar. Then we'll do the next eye. Same thing. Make sure our positioning is good. Bring this down. You don't have to be exact. You just want to be as close as you can. So we're going to move through this. And this is grabbing the center of the eye. You position that on the center of the pupil. And then you have this handle which allows you to adjust to the size of the pupil and to the size of the iris. And that's pretty good, because there's stuff you can do with the eyes. It's pretty darn awesome. Go to the next. Okay. Most of the mouse open or closed. This little space right here is where teeth would show if it were open, but we're going to say it's closed. Takes away that line, so now we just have to line up with the lips. This allows you to, as the saying goes, work smarter, not harder. You're definitely still going to want to do stuff in Photoshop with the result of this. This brings the photo in. Does not bring in a PSD, which is kind of disappointing. It'll bring it in as a TIFF or as a JPEG. So you're going to probably do most of your processing in Lightroom first, aperture, camera raw, whatever you're normally using to process your raw images, and you are shooting in raw, right? But if you're working in JPEG, you could do this too, because obviously this is working on a JPEG file. So, but hopefully you've processed, got the images looking the way you want them in terms of the development, contrast, and lighting, and exposure, and white balance, and all that stuff. You got it really close. This is probably near the very end of your process, where you've taken it into Photoshop, you've got your layers, you've done all your work, and then you want to take that and you want to flatten it, because this will not. If you make this as a separate layer, what's going to happen is this is not going to line up, because it's changing the geometry of the picture. And what I mean is her eye may be slightly adjusted to give it the appearance that you want. So it's definitely not something you're going to do as a layer and then just kind of mask this stuff in, because it'll be distorted. You need to get it to a ready state, take it to this tool, to Portrait Professional, work on it, and then maybe do your final steps, your last sharpening, maybe some other adjustments. Whatever you do, everybody's workflow is going to be different, but this is definitely, again, not something you're going to do as a layer that you can then mask into the original picture, as you'll see in a minute. Okay, so we adjusted her mouth, adjusted her nose. We're going to go to next. We're almost done. This is how quick this is. So even though we're seeing all these points here, these are ones we've already done. You see they're all in blue. These two white ones here are on the eye. We haven't touched them. Therefore, if your subject is kind of an odd angle, maybe a 3/4 angle or something like that, or looking down or something, where the iris is not perfectly round, that allows you to distort, make the iris more oval shaped to reflect the picture. I worked on one the other day where the subject was looking to the side, and so obviously we're seeing her eyes from a side angle, and I had to adjust the shape of that. So that's why those are clicked. What we're working on now is basically we're going to bring the chin line up to the chin, make sure these points are on this curve of the face. Bring this cheek line in a little bit. Okay, and then the hairline is basically where the scalp starts. You don't have to worry about it covering her hair a little bit. That's fine. It's basically where the hairline actually starts. So that's done. And now the magic's going to happen. And this is really cool. Let it do its work. And there we go. Now you can see side by side, before and after. You can see after only, which is what we're looking at now. You can hold this button to see before. And I'm going to do that because I think it's a little more dramatic. Before, after, before, after, before, after. As you see, she is still recognizable as herself. Her skin has just gotten a little smoother. So the lines have been softened. Her smile lines here on her eyes. I think it looks really great. It is very simple. You can see the before and after side by side for the comparison. See, her face has gotten a little narrower. Just a little. It's very subtle. But your client's gonna love it. Wow, you got a great camera. So, okay, we're done with that. Now we're gonna go to the after only view so we can see more. Now, after you're done, you got these sliders that let you make some other changes. So you can adjust. These are set to what the work it's already done. So I'm just going to run through a few of these real quick. First of all, we'll start with the skin controls. It's probably the first one you always want to start with, because what we've got here is, let's zoom her out. Okay, is in this picture, this area of her skin is connected to her face, obviously, because of the outfit she's wearing. Sometimes the arms and stuff will be showing, and you may want to treat that differently. But here, since this is all kind of contiguous, you may want to treat it the same. So I'm going to view the skin area. It just shows you the purple area that's the mask. And we're going to, using the bracket keys, you can size your arrow. You can also use the options here, but basically what we're going to do is we're going to paint this skin in, because we want this to look all the same. We don't want it to be too jarring. So we've done that. You'll also notice that the mask has not covered her eyes, not covered her lips, because they're treated as different areas. So that's cool. So when we're done, come down here, say OK. And this is now all treated the same. So if you look before, after, so your skin on her neck changes just a little bit. And you notice the background doesn't get distorted all that much. It works pretty intelligently because we set all these points. It knows what the face is and it tries to be non-destructive to the background. If you had text here or something like that, you may notice, but with with a floral background or just general blurry background, you're not going to notice those changes. So let's zoom in here. Oh, lost my zoom. We're going to do this, and we're going to move down here to her neck, and there you can see a little more closely the changes. Just very subtle, just enough to make the portrait look consistent. Different options here. You can change how much it works on imperfections, wrinkles, shadows, pores, etc., etc., etc. So you can you want to leave a little bit of texture in, that's fine. If you want to have this kind of light, subtle porcelain doll look, then that's fine too. So we're going to hide the skin controls. Another cool thing you can do here is with the eye controls. Remember, we outline the eyes, so this lets you do all this stuff. You can remove a red eye if you had not already done that in your camera or in your pre-processing or post-pre-processing. You have the control how subtle this is or how cartoonish this is. I can whiten her eyes and make it look really weird, or I can just leave it alone. I can brighten her eyes, make it look really weird. Be subtle. It's up to you. You're given the granular control. You can sharpen them, sharpen the eyebrows. This is the one cool one. This is just for fun. I mean, you wouldn't obviously do this with a paying client, but unless they asked you to. You can change your eye color. So what we're going to do here is, you'll notice when I slide the color, the amount automatically goes up. But we can take her, blue eyes. Oh, nice kind of blue there. Throw into the green range. And you can increase the intensity. Before, after, before, after, before, after. So you can do that if you want to. So you might do that on a model shoot if you want her eyes perhaps to match the car color or something like that. Okay, so there's adjustments you can make to the eyes. One other thing, the hair controls does the same thing as the skin. It does its best guess based on the analyzing the portrait. We map the face, so it kind of knows hair should be up here, and it starts looking for the darker colors. But we have a dark background here, so you'll notice that here some of the purple masking has gotten onto the background. Really, normally doesn't matter, but if you want to take it out and be consistent, you can just erase the purple that it detected. Just erase that mask and get that out of there, and then you can extend the mask if it missed any areas. And this is basically just saying, hey, here's the area that I want you to apply these hair adjustments to. So we say okay, and now the hair adjustments will apply to there. And we haven't done much. You can see maybe a little shine, but you can redden her hair if you want to. Just use a nice red tint. Again, you can get cartoonish and it looks really bad, but then if you get subtle, it can look really, really good. You can increase the vibrance of the hair. You can add some shine. You can lighten her hair, darken her hair. If you want to make it, give it a little effect for that. So, again, those are your options. You can adjust the lighting. You can do exposure, contrast, shadows if you hadn't already done that. Again, if you just brought this straight in from a point and shoot camera, you would be able to do that. But hopefully, you would be using this for true studio portraits or professional client portraits. So you would be processing those as raw. Some other things you can play with if you want to is you can adjust the face here. Again, this would be something you would do where the model is not the client. Perhaps the model is just a subject in the photo, I don't think you would want to be changing too much on a paying client, but you can slim her nose down if you want to. You can slim the tip down. You can give her a short nose, which brings her face down a little bit. Bring it up. The philtrum, which I guess is the end of the nose. And you can adjust her neck. You can turn her into a giraffe woman. But again, you can do subtle things. Sometimes maybe the angle is such that you want to increase that. Again, choice is yours. You can play with the shape of the mouth. There's another option here that I missed. The mouth and nose controls. You can increase the saturation. Change your lipstick to a little purple. You can get disco color. And the option again is yours. 0 is where it was. Okay, so just a few more points really. I love this tool. It's an amazing tool. I think it retails for about 90 bucks. They had it on sale briefly for about 40. You can always catch sales. They do a giveaway every month at their website, which you can see on the screen. Definitely a great tool. It will make your portraits a lot better. Again, probably for the final versions, even though it's easy to use and it steps you through the process really quick, it still is time consuming, and because it disrupts your process and is not it's destructive, I guess I should say. You bring the picture in, it changes it, and then you save it out as another picture. So this was step 5. This was the last step. Now you still got the next button here. If we had a couple, we would work through her first, then we'd hit next, and it would start the whole process over. We pick male, go through her husband or whatever, and clean him up, do the same step. So these steps here, these first 6 sliders sets that you can use affect the person, whereas these affect the whole picture. So you may want to, if you have to use show picture controls, you may want to wait till you've done the last person. You can do as many faces as you want. There's no limit. If you did a family portrait, you could go, mother, father, child, however you want to do it. So, but when you're done, all you have to do is hit save, and we'll let you save the picture. And we're going to just overwrite this one that we've done before. Says yes. And there you go. I mentioned before that it has a plug-in for Photoshop. So here I've just pulled up a picture. I've done nothing with it. This is just a plain old picture. And this is a snapshot. It's not really a portrait, just one I grabbed. But you go to your filter, Anthropics, Portrait Professional, and it brings it right up. And it says, and you decide who you're going to start with. And you just go again through the same process. I'll start with this guy here. Boop. And we're not going to go through the whole thing, but just want to show you that that's possible. Okay, and see, I really missed his face there, but that's okay. Anyway, back to here. Just again show you some before and after. And we'll show before and after on the face. And you can really see the difference that you get. I think your clients will be really happy. I think you'll be really happy with this. So Portrait Professional, this is Studio Edition version 10.5 was the latest update that's just come out. I'm recording this on September 30th, 2011. I think you'll like it. Definitely check it out. Put all the website and information in the description here, as well as on photographyvoice. Hope you'll join us for our Picture of the Day competition. Check out our reviews, news, learn and grow with other photographers. So thanks for watching, and see you next time.